Welcome back to the studio. It is now Monday. The first thing we got to do this week is work on the puzzle pieces that we started a couple weeks ago. This is the current state of the puzzle pieces. As you can see, they're super dirty, but the faces are all flat. So now at this point, we have to clean them, work on the edges, bevel the top, and do a few other things. We cleaned off all the dirt on the pieces. At this point, we're gonna work on the edges. We're gonna get these nice and flat, and we're gonna make sure that the pieces are square. All the basic shaping on the puzzle pieces are now done. The sides are smooth. We have a bevel along the edge, getting rid of any chips. At this point, all we have left to do is to polish the front face. We're gonna sandblast the back of each piece, as well as the sides. That'll give it a nice matte finish. And after that, all we have left to do is to attach a mount onto the back, and then these pieces will be done. But it is getting late, so we're gonna wrap everything up here tonight, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. This here is about as far as we can get tonight. All the sides and the backs of the pieces have been sandblasted. We have the mounts attached to each piece. All the faces are polished. At this point, we have to let the glue dry, and then we can come back to these tomorrow and finish them up. But until then, we're gonna start a new project. I wanna get back to work on this project here. These here are the remaining pieces from the outlines project that we did. I'm thinking I want this piece here flipped up like that so it can be displayed in the circle. Both of the faces on the circle here are actually up to a 600 grit finish, so we could polish this now if we wanted to. But we still have to work on the outside and inner sides of the circle. After that, we're gonna bevel the edges to get rid of any rough spots. After the green circle is done, we're gonna return to these blue chunks here, and we're gonna figure out how to shape them so we can turn them into a stand. To get the outside of the ring done. The inside of the ring only needs a little bit of touch up before we can polish it. So the next thing we're gonna have to work on is getting the edges nice and smooth and removing any sort of chips like this one right here. We'll pick up on this tomorrow because it is getting late, which means we have to wrap everything up here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. It's Wednesday and we're gonna get back to work on the puzzle pieces. We're gonna cut off all the excess glue on the mounts. After that, we're gonna apply a sealer onto the backs. That way, if you touch it, you don't leave fingerprint like that. We'll take some pictures once we're done. After that, we'll get back to working on the green circle. Now that all the puzzle pieces are done, we can get back to working on this ring. At this point, all we have left to do is to get rid of these little chips along the piece and then add a bevel to the edge. Once all the main shaping is done, we can then polish up this piece, and then we'll start working on the blue chunks to try to create a stand. Today we managed to get the entire ring shaped and polished. I really like all the colors within this ring here. I think it's gonna be a super cool piece once it's done. We still have to figure out how we're gonna make a stand out of these chunks here and attach it to the ring. Unfortunately, we don't have any time to do that tonight, so we're gonna wrap it up here. We are back, it's Thursday, and we're gonna start right off with working on the stand for the green outline. I went ahead and marked all the areas that I wanna cut off on these chunks of glass. After we get this glass cut, we're gonna head over to the flat lap and begin cold working. Did not manage to get too far. We got all the sides here up to 100 grit. I rounded the bottom of this here to get rid of most of the sharp edges and the cracks. Still have to work on this part here, but all in all, I think this will make a really cool looking stand. Hopefully tomorrow we can finish up this stand as well as the entire piece tomorrow. But until then, I'm gonna shut everything down, head home, and then I'll see you guys tomorrow. All the pieces have been shaped, cold worked, and polished. I also carved a flat spot right here on the ring. That way it'll sit nicely on top of here. Now at this point, all we have left to do is to clean off all the pieces, and then we'll start assembling them together. Here we have the final result. I like how the stand there has that arch to it because it looks like the ring is balancing on it. Really happy with the colors on this piece. I really like the greens. I like the colors within the stand. I think they're pretty cool as well. It's also the end of the week, which means we now have to wrap up this video. If you guys enjoyed the art that we made this week, then be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe if you want to keep up with all the other videos. And as always, thanks for your time.